Hey, what up everybody, this is Stevie Breach coming to you. Lots of talk about Undertaker and Sting this week appearing at SummerSlam, but the rumors will not die that at WWE Battleground 2015 that the Undertaker will be making his return to the WWE. Lots of people thinking that he's going to be coming back to wrestle Sting, that they're going to be starting some sort of a big promo where it's, Undertaker versus Sting, the two guys that, always, slam together as this dream sort of match because of this dark side to both of these characters. Sting was once the bleached blonde surfer guy that, was the savior of WCW, and then WCW turned their back on him, pointing the finger at him, saying that he had joined the NWO, and he felt that, there was no way in the world that he was going to do that, and couldn't believe that, his own best friend Lex Luger would say this. So he turned into this dark figure that hid in the rafters, into the darkness, and, ended up being the guy to come from the darkness to save WCW by beating Hollywood Hulk Hogan at Starrcade, and it just turned into a fiasco from there. That should have been the end of the NWO, but it seems that Hulk Hogan and everyone played their cards, and the title was taken off Sting after a short title run, and the NWO lived on until the dying days of WCW with rebirth after rebirth. Undertaker was the guy that it was always with, Vince McMahon. There was a short time period when he was no longer the dead man and he was the American badass. But, WrestleMania 20, he came back as Undertaker, being, born from the dark side again, coming out with Paul Bearer, having the match with Kane, and from then on out, it was like, almost as if Undertaker didn't live backstage, like he might have walked through the curtain and then he ascended back down to the gates of hell, and that's where this guy lived. He was not a living, breathing man like all of us. He could do almost anything, but I'm not quite sure that I think Vince McMahon wants to give this dream match to the people. I think that he has thoughts about the age of Undertaker and the age of Sting, and wondering if they'll be able to compete at a high rate. Sting got his first match in WWE at WrestleMania 31. At this place, Undertaker... I apologize. Sting was led through the match by Triple H because they felt that Triple H would be able to have a great match with anybody. Sting went in and he lost the match, and I think a lot of people had frowny faces after that match and didn't really think that they was going to be there. I thought it was awesome. You got the NWO, you got DX, it ended up turning into WCW versus WWE. It was a relaunch of the Monday Night War, and it was everything that we thought we were never going to see from WCW versus WWE. I think it made up a lot of people's eyes the Invasion, which lived on in WWE under Vince McMahon, but it didn't have the NWO, it didn't have Goldberg, especially didn't have Sting. Triple H was not a part of it due to injury, so it almost sort of made up for that 6-month storyline of Booker T, the Dudley Boys, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, fighting as the main eventers for WCW, going up against the WWE, and they're led by their big group of Undertaker and Kane, Chris Jericho. They had real main eventers going up against these guys that were, some of them were main eventers in the dying days of WCW, but during the meat and potatoes, mid-card guys that were trying to keep this stable afloat, and that's why ended up Angle and Austin had to go over to the other side to try and make their team that much stronger. At the pay-per-view, I'm not quite 100% sure about what's going to be going down, but definitely the talk of the town is that people really think that Undertaker is going to be there, but I don't know if you have... Sting is sort of like this common guy. We've seen him do things with Triple H. We've seen him on television. We've seen him come out and interfere in the authority matches. Does he just come out and all of a sudden Undertaker, comes out of the darkness and challenges this guy, basically saying that this is the match that people never thought they were going to see, and this is the match that people want to see? Maybe the Undertaker was, sitting in hell the night after WrestleMania after beating Bray Wyatt and saw Sting basically say he didn't know what was going to be there tomorrow, and he heard all of the crowds chanting at the San Jose SAP Center and basically saying that they wanted Sting versus Taker. Definitely the WrestleMania crowd. That's what people want to see. So maybe Taker's going to come out as a fan favorite and say he wants this match to happen, and they're going to have to find a way to build to it. Basically, I don't see either one of these guys going heel into a match at WrestleMania. So how you have a long-lasting program with these guys starting here in July, lasting all through SummerSlam and trying to get all the way into April without one of these guys turning heel on each other, I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to be there to see it unfold on the WWE Network, and it's going to be one hell of a time. Let's see, Battleground, what happens?